Hey you guys, Laura here, and I am coming to you from my home studio, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about a quick and simple, easy, short series for you to do at home, and it's especially beneficial for those that maybe have tension headaches from tightness in their neck, that are working from home and you feel like you got like upper back pain going on, or a tight upper back that is making your shoulders scrunch forward. And for those of you that just want to work a little bit more on having better posture, I find that from my history of playing sports that when you do have better posture, better alignment with your body, it does help you get a little bit more into your muscles a bit better, because everything is in alignment the way that it is structurally intended to be, so you are able to access your muscles a little bit more efficiently, effectively for the work that you are doing. That's what we all want when we're working out, right? Is to be able to make the most out of that time that we are spending in whatever activity that we are doing. I find that a lot of the clients that I work with also come into Pilates not just for the sports performance aspect of it, but also to find a little bit of pain relief, because no one likes to be in pain. It's yucky, it's uncomfortable, and a lot of times it makes you feel a little cranky. So hopefully this short series will help alleviate some of your discomfort for migraines in your neck, in your shoulders, in your upper back. All you need is the wall. Not necessarily this one that's right behind me, but one that you have in your house that is fairly empty. And then you can also use 2-pound weights, or you can use just cans of vegetables from your pantry, or even water bottles are sufficient. You don't really need heavy weight for this. What we're really looking for is for the wall to give us kind of like that tactile reinforcement, to have tall, elongated, open posture for our upper back and shoulder girdle. And these guys just help you feel a little bit more work in your shoulders and your upper back. But mostly we're looking for that tactile reinforcement. Go ahead and grab whatever tools you're gonna be using for this series, and let's go ahead and meet against the wall. I am gonna have my feet just slightly away from the wall, and I gotta move my mic pack, sorry you guys, because it is up against the wall, a little uncomfortable. Okay, so I have my feet a little bit away from the wall. What I'm looking for, because I want to engage a little bit of my core and really feel my upper back opening up against the wall, I'm gonna pull my belly in. I wanna feel my sacrum, my tailbone against the wall, and I wanna feel that upper back also against the wall. You might need to bend your knees so you get a little bit more of that upper back connection. You do not need to have your head against the wall. That's something that might come along in time, just depending on what your posture situation is on your upper back and in your neck. But if you feel like you want to have your head against the wall, but your neck is like looking up at the sky, you might want to put like a towel or maybe like a small pillow behind your head. But it's totally okay to have that empty space behind it as well. Like I said, we're not looking to press the head against the wall. We're mostly looking to have that upper back connection against the wall. That's what's most important here. So, like I said, legs are going to be together. Tailbone is against the wall. My belly is pulling into my back. My lower back may or may not be flat against it. It kind of just depends on personal preference. I've seen this series taught both ways. For today, I'm going to give myself that natural curvature of my back, that natural, if you look at a skeleton, it does kind of have this kind of like S shape going on here, just a little bit. And so I'm going to have that little bit of space in my lower back. Feel that upper back connection up against the wall, and try to draw my shoulder heads towards the wall so that I feel a little bit of a stretching sensation happening at the front of my collarbones here. So that already, just getting up against the wall and drawing those shoulder heads backwards, it's almost like those shoulder blades are trying to pull towards one another, but we don't have that jamming sensation. We don't have that squeezing sensation of our shoulder blades towards our spine. This in and of itself is going to give you that postural feedback, that tactile feedback that I was telling you about. And you could just practice starting out with this, and that might just be sufficient enough. You take a minute or so realigning up against the wall, maybe after 2 hours of work or something like that. This would be a really great yes, exercise, but a really great movement to start to incorporate into your day-to-day while you're sitting at your computer. I'm going to take my hands and I'm going to bring them right to the top of my forehead. I want to keep my shoulders down and I'm going to try to widen my elbows. And as I widen my elbows, I can feel my upper back start to open up a little bit more. And what also starts to happen is you might feel like your chest is pressing forward. Really connect that belly into your back here and feel like your ribs are pulling in towards one another, like you're trying to zip up a vest and you have a zipper or a button here that's a little bit stuck and you're trying to just really squeeze it together here. That's what we're aiming for. The first exercise we're going to be doing is called salute. I just want you to press your hands forward and then you're going to bend your elbows wide once again and see if as the elbows pull wider, if you get a little bit more of that upper back connection into the wall. Press forward, shoulders stay down as you press forward like a Superman, and then you're going to pull it right back in and home. So here, we're moving from the elbow joint to push those weights away from us, but we're trying to keep our shoulders down and away from our ears as we press out onto the horizon here. We want to see if as the hands press out, if there's any changes in our spine. Because like I said, we want to try to keep our torso as stable as possible. Feel that upper back connection into the wall. And maybe you're squeezing your thigh bones together a little bit more to also help you get stability through the pelvis. Every time the elbows come back, you're trying to widen them a little bit more so you feel that upper back connection. Ooh, my upper shoulders are working here, but I also had arm day today too, so that might be a little bit of a reason why I feel my delts. I'm going to do 2 more here. And then when I'm finished, I'm just going to open my hands out to the side. Here, you are going to feel your upper back a little bit differently against the wall. Maybe you feel like you have a deeper impression into the wall. It might be a little bit easier to feel that upper back against the wall. Just notice what's going on in that body. Now here, my elbows naturally want to drop. I'm going to try to lift them up a little bit. And then I'm going to hug like I'm hugging a big bowl or ball. And then I'm going to open up to the side. I'm going to see, did my elbows drop? Luckily I have this nice camera here. It shows me that I didn't. And then I'm going to hug once again, working the upper arm bones, but also trying to notice, is there any change in my spine? Every time I open and close my arms, I'm trying to really keep that connection of my upper back into the wall. I want to make sure that I'm not jamming my head backwards. That chin should stay parallel to the ground. I'm going to do 2 more here for 10. And then I'm going to take my hands down right in front of my thighs here. Now we're going to do one that's called zipper. As my hands are down to the front of my thighs, I really want to see how long can my hands go downwards towards my toes. I still have my tailbone heavy against the wall. I'm still trying to open my shoulders, that collarbone line that we talked about earlier from here. And I want to make sure that my gaze is still on the horizon, that my chin has not gone up as I've gone through this series. I'm going to start to pull my elbows wide to the side, and then I'm going to press the handles back down my body. Pull up towards my sternum, my chest bone, and I want to see how wide can my elbows go. That also helps me feel my upper back a little bit more. This zipper is very similar to an upright row, but I don't want you to get confused with an upright row because we're not trying to go very heavy. We're not trying to focus on working the tops of the shoulders. We're really trying to focus on opening up that upper back. So as we're moving our arms in space, you're thinking, how wide can I make my back? How connected can I get to my upper back so that I can move my arms, so that I can get more into my core? I'm going to do 3 more here. I've done about 10 on each one. And then you're gonna just drop, not like literally drop the weights, but you're gonna take a little break, step off away from the wall and see if you feel a little bit different in your spine. I do notice that I feel a little bit taller. I spent this morning studying for one of the certification courses that I may be taking in a couple weeks, or tests that I may be taking in a couple weeks, which means that I have been at a computer way more than what I'm used to. And so stepping aside and doing this maybe every couple hours, maybe on my lunch break, it literally, once you get the hang of it, will only take about 2 to 5 minutes, because we're only doing 3 different movements. What has the tendency to happen when we are at a computer for long periods of time is we don't notice that we start to curve a little bit more through the upper back. We don't notice that we're leaning our head, jutting it forward a little bit more. So this is a really great way to get some feedback from tools that you already have at home. And then not only that, what also ends up being a consequence of being seated for long periods of time is that our core muscles start to get weak. And being here against the wall, stabilizing your spine against the wall as your arms are moving in space, you're going to start to activate some of those lower abdominal muscles that also help to support the spine and are helpful in helping to alleviate lower back pain, upper back pain, stuff like that. If you guys are gonna try this out, or if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I would love to hear from you and know that this content is helping you. And then if you are curious about any aches and pains that you have in your body and you're curious to know what kind of exercises I might have in my toolkit to help alleviate some of those aches and pains, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. I have experienced so much injuries in my lifetime. I laugh because there's just like so much that I experienced that I thought was just like normal. And then once I found Pilates and I found that just like moving the body regularly, really focusing on alignment and moving properly could help to alleviate some of those common, knee pains, neck pain, migraines, whatever it was. I want to be able to share that with you. So let me know what questions you have. I'd love to continue creating content for you. Leave a comment if you end up trying this out and how you felt afterwards. I'd love to hear from you. And then if you haven't already subscribed to my page, go ahead and do so. Ring the bell so that you can get notifications on all the fitness tips, injury prevention tips, recipe tips, wellness tips that I have for you, so that you can keep learning and also, growing with your knowledge on how to master your movements, be a better mover, and just get better at everything that you're doing on a day-to-day basis.